Zoya had always been drawn to things people avoided. Where others felt fear, she felt curiosity. Where people said, "Don't go there," she felt an irresistible pull to find out why. Maybe that's why everything changed that night. Or maybe it was always meant to. It was a normal evening. Zoya stepped out of her office building, tired but relieved the day was over. The sky was dim, the air slightly cold, and the city noise was slowly fading into the background. She decided to take the shortcut, a narrow alley behind her office, a place most people ignored. It was quiet, dimly lit, and always felt off. But tonight, something was different. There was a door. Zoya stopped walking, her eyes narrowed as she stared at it. "I've walked this way 100 times. This wasn't here before." The door looked ancient, dark wood, covered in deep carvings that didn't make immediate sense. Strange symbols twisted across its surface, and in the center, an eye. Not a drawing, not exactly. It felt like it was watching her. A chill ran down her spine. "I'll just take a quick look," she whispered. But even she knew that wasn't true. Curiosity doesn't stop at looking, it pulls you in. Slowly, she stepped closer. Her fingers trembled slightly as she reached for the handle. The moment she touched it, a low vibration echoed through the wood. Zoya instantly pulled her hand back. Her heart started racing. That's not normal. Every instinct told her to leave. Walk away. Go home. Forget this. But curiosity is louder than fear, and she listened to it. This time, she didn't hesitate. She grabbed the handle and opened the door. Darkness. Not the kind of darkness you find in a room with lights off. This was deeper, heavier, like the absence of everything. Zoya hesitated, but only for a second. Then she stepped inside. The moment she crossed the threshold, the door slammed shut behind her. Zoya spun around. Hello? No echo, no response, just silence. Her breathing became uneven. "Okay, calm down. It's just a room, right, Lake?" But she already knew this wasn't a room. She pulled out her phone and turned on the flashlight. The beam cut through the darkness, but only a few feet ahead. Beyond that, nothing. Not walls, not space. Just endless black. Then, her light flickered. For a split second, she saw something. A shape, far away, tall, too tall, standing completely still. The light returned. Nothing there. Zoya swallowed hard. "I'm imagining things." The light flickered again. This time, it was closer. Her body froze. She couldn't move, couldn't breathe properly. The shape slowly stepped into the edge of the light, and Zoya saw it. It had no face, just a smooth, blank surface, with that same eye symbol carved into it. But now, the eye was moving, watching, alive. Zoya tried to scream. Nothing came out. The figure leaned closer, and then, it spoke, in her voice. "Why did you come back?" Zoya's mind went blank. I've never been here before." Silence. Then, a low, unnatural laugh. "Liar." Suddenly, images flashed in her mind. A little girl, a door, darkness, that same eye. Zoya stumbled backward. That's me." Her breath trembled. "You've been here before," the thing said softly. "You just forgot." No, that's not possible. "You all forget." It stepped closer. Now it was right in front of her. Zoya shut her eyes tightly. "Please, let me go." A cold breath touched her ear. "Leave? The door isn't for you. It's made from you." Zoya's eyes snapped open. The figure was gone. Instead, someone else stood there. It was her. Same face, same body, but her eyes were empty, dark. The other Zoya smiled. "Now you understand?" Zoya shook her head slowly. "Every time someone comes, they open the door, and they take a place." Zoya's heart pounded violently. "Then, I'm you, the one who came before." Zoya stepped back in horror. "Then what happens to me?" "Plea." The other Zoya stepped forward and gently grabbed her hand. Her touch was ice cold. "Now you stay here. You wait for the next one. And when they open the door," she leaned closer and whispered, "you take their place." Zoya screamed. This time, the sound escaped. The next morning, people walked past the alley like always. Nothing unusual. No door, no darkness. Just a girl standing quietly against the wall, still, watching. A man passing by noticed her. "Hey, are you okay?" Zoya slowly turned her head toward him and smiled, softly, calmly. "There's just an old door here," she said. "Do you want to see it?" The man hesitated. Then curiosity took over. "What door?" Zoya slowly raised her hand and pointed, right where a new door was beginning to appear. The man hesitated. For a brief moment, something inside him whispered, "Leave, walk away, ignore her." But curiosity won. "Okay," he said, forcing a small laugh. "Show me." Zoya's smile didn't change. It stayed perfectly still, almost unnatural. She stepped aside slowly, revealing the wall behind her. At first, there was nothing, just old concrete, cracked and stained with time. Then, something shifted. The air itself seemed to ripple, and right in front of his eyes, a door began to form, wood twisting out of nothing, carvings appearing like they were being etched by invisible hands, and at the center, that same eye. The man froze. What the? Go on, Zoya whispered softly. It's just a door. Something about her voice felt wrong, flat, empty. But he had already come this far, and now, he needed to know. Slowly, he stepped closer. Have you been inside? He asked. Zoya tilted her head slightly. Yes. How is it? There was a pause. Then she smiled wider. You'll see. The man reached out. His fingers hovered over the handle. For a second, he almost pulled back, but then, he touched it. The same low vibration echoed. His heartbeat quickened. This isn't normal. Nothing is, Zoya replied quietly. Before he could think any further, he turned the handle and opened the door. Darkness. Deep. Endless. The man leaned forward slightly, trying to see inside. Hello? No answer. He turned back to Zoya. This is some kind of trick, right? But Zoya was gone. The alley was empty, completely silent. Okay, not funny, he muttered. A strange unease crept into his chest. He looked back at the door. Something about it felt alive. Watching. Waiting. Without realizing it, he stepped inside. Slam. The door shut behind him. Hey, he spun around, grabbing for the handle. Nothing. No door. Just darkness. Where did it? His voice stopped. There was no echo. Just silence. Heavy, suffocating silence. Okay, this isn't real. He pulled out his phone and turned on the flashlight. The beam stretched forward, but only a little. Beyond that, nothing. Then, a sound, soft, like footsteps. Behind him, he turned quickly. Who's there? No one. But the feeling remained. He wasn't alone. The light flickered. For a split second, he saw something. A figure, standing in the distance, still, watching. The light came back. Gone. His breathing grew faster. I need to get out. He started walking. Fast. Then faster. But no matter how far he moved, nothing changed. Same darkness. Same emptiness. Same feeling of being watched. Then, the light flickered again. This time, the figure was closer. Too close. He stumbled back. What do you want? The figure didn't answer. It just stood there. Tall. Unnatural. And slowly, it began to move. The man tried to run, but his legs felt heavy, like something was holding him in place. The figure stepped into the light, and his stomach dropped. It had no face. Just a blank surface, with that same carved eye, moving, alive, watching him. No. The figure tilted its head, and then, it spoke, but not in a monster's voice, in his own voice. Why did you follow her? The man froze. I didn't. You were curious. The voice echoed slightly, but not in the room, in his head. You always are. I just wanted to see. Exactly. The figure took another step closer. Everyone says that. The man shook his head, panic rising. I don't belong here. Lolo. The figure leaned forward slightly. Neither did she. A cold chill ran down his spine. She. Zoya. The name hit him like a shock. What did you do to her? Lo. The figure didn't answer. Instead, it stepped aside and pointed into the darkness. Look. The man hesitated, then slowly turned his head. At first, nothing. Then, shapes began to form. Dozens. No, hundreds. People. Standing. Still. Silent. All around him. Their faces empty. Eyes dark. Watching. Waiting. What is this place? Although, the figure's voice whispered behind him. A waiting room. For curiosity. The man's heart pounded violently. I want to leave. You can. Hope sparked inside him. Really? How? Allo. A pause. Then, the figure spoke softly. Take a place. The man's breath caught. What? Someone always leaves, and someone always stays. Suddenly, one of the figures in the crowd moved, slowly stepping forward, into the faint light. The man's eyes widened. It was Zoya, but not the Zoya from the alley. This one looked older, tired, empty. Her eyes met his. For a moment, something human flickered inside them. Don't, she whispered. The man stepped back. What is happening? Lo. The faceless figure spoke again. She was waiting, just like you are now. Zoya reached out slightly. Please, don't take my place. Her voice trembled. For the first time, there was real emotion, real fear. The man looked between her and the figure. I don't understand. You will, the figure said calmly. When it's your turn. The darkness seemed to close in. The crowd of silent figures didn't move, didn't blink, just watched, waiting. The man felt something pulling at him, not physically, but deeper, like the space itself was choosing. Zoya's voice cracked. You still have a choice. Don't stay. Don't become this. The man's mind raced. How do I leave? Zoya hesitated, like saying it would cost her something. Then, she whispered, don't look back. The moment she said it, the door appeared behind him, out of nowhere, faint, barely visible, but there. The man turned toward it, hope flooding his chest. He started running, fast, closer, closer. Stop. The faceless figure's voice roared. The darkness trembled. The ground, or whatever it was, shook beneath beneath him. If you leave, the voice twisted, distorted. You will forget. The man slowed, just for a second. Forget? You'll forget this place. You'll forget her. You'll forget everything. He looked back. Zoya stood there, watching him, waiting. Her expression empty again, like the emotion was already fading. All, the figure whispered. You can stay. And remember. The man froze. One step from the door. One step from freedom. One step from forgetting. Behind him, hundreds of silent eyes. In front of him, a door and a choice. His hand reached for the handle. He hesitated, just for a moment, and that's when something behind him smiled. The disguised eyes. The man's hand hovered over the handle. His fingers trembled. Freedom was right there. Just one step, just one choice. Behind him, the darkness breathed, not like air, but like something alive, watching, waiting, leave and forget. The voice echoed again, cold, calm, final, stay and remember. His heartbeat thundered in his ears. He turned his head slightly, just enough to see her. Zoya, standing among the others, still, silent, but her eyes, for a brief second, they weren't empty. They were begging. Don't, she whispered, barely audible. Don't become this spay. The man clenched his jaw. What happens if I stay? He asked. The faceless figure stepped closer. You already know. I don't. The figure tilted its head. Then look. The darkness shifted. The crowd of silent figures moved slightly apart, and in the space between them, he saw it, a reflection. Not in glass, not in water, but in the darkness itself. It was him, standing still, eyes empty, face emotionless. One of them, waiting, forever. His breath caught. No, the figure leaned closer. You were always going to end up here. Everyone does. No, that's not true. Curiosity, the figure whispered, is a door, and you opened it. The man turned back toward the exit. The door flickered slightly, like it wasn't fully stable, like it could disappear at any moment. Why me? He said under his breath. No answer came, only silence. Then, Zoya spoke again, this time louder, stronger. You still have time. The man looked at her. You said I'll forget. Her expression softened. Yes. Then what's the point? Her eyes filled with something rare in that place, sadness, because forgetting is better than becoming this. The words hit him hard. He looked around, at the endless figures, all frozen, all empty, all waiting, no voices, no life, just existence. And you? He asked quietly. Why didn't you leave? Zoya didn't answer immediately. Then, I hesitated. Her voice cracked slightly. Just like you. The man closed his eyes. One moment. That's all it takes. One moment of doubt. And everything changes. Behind him, a faint sound, like something crawling, growing closer, impatient. The faceless figure spoke again. If you don't choose, I will choose for you. His eyes snapped open. That was it. No more thinking, no more hesitation. He grabbed the handle and pulled. The door opened. Light exploded through the darkness, blinding, overwhelming, real. The man stumbled forward and fell onto concrete, cold, solid, familiar. He gasped for air. His lungs burned like he hadn't breathed in years. Slowly, he looked up. The alley, normal, quiet, empty. No door, he whispered, his heart still racing, his mind spinning. What just happened? He stood up slowly. Everything felt distant, blurry, like a dream slipping away. Was it real? He tried to remember. There was something. A girl, a door, darkness. But the details, they were fading, fast. Wait, her name. He frowned. What was her name? Nothing, just emptiness. A strange calm settled over him, like whatever happened didn't matter anymore. He took a deep breath and walked away. The alley remained silent, still, unchanged, for a few seconds. Then, the air shifted, a faint ripple, barely visible, and slowly, very slowly, a door began to form again, from nothing, wood twisting into shape, carvings etching themselves into existence, and at the center, that same eye, watching, waiting. Footsteps approached, a new person, unaware, curious. They slowed down, noticed it, stopped. What is this? From somewhere unseen, a soft voice whispered, just a door. The person stepped closer, reached out, touched the handle. And somewhere, deep inside the darkness, among the silent figures, one pair of empty eyes shifted slightly, like something inside them almost remembered the end.